You asked this question, we talk about this quite a bit here, and I'm going to say it again. I like Mike McCarthy personally, but it's time to get a different voice. And this voice would be a great voice. And Dallas has what Mike Vrabel believes he needs to succeed. He has a great working relationship with the Joneses, Mike Vrabel does, and he wants a quarterback, and Dak Prescott is there. Dallas needs discipline. He can bring that discipline. He has the experience. He's been a coach of the year, and I think he works well with the players. Guys like Michael Parsons and all those guys, they will love him. So I do like that option, if that option is there. Absolutely. And he said 100%. I hope Jerry is 100% talking with him if he's 100% interested. And we don't have another one of them Derrick Henry situations where Vrabel would say later on, after going somewhere else, tearing up and having a great season, saying, I would have come to Dallas for less. Don't want to see that again. So make sure we're poking around.
Mike will get anybody in Dallas but McCarthy.
That's what I was worried about right there. And Paul brings it up. I just think a different voice.
You just want a different voice. It does make sense. The more and more you talked about this over the last 3 or 4 weeks, it makes a good sense because how many years? McCarthy's been there, what, 6 years?
6 years.
6 years. And they're comfortable. They're comfortable with him.
Get comfortable.
And at first when I really started thinking about it, it's like they're comfortable with Mark McCarthy. They probably reached their ceiling. It may be time to bring a new voice in to get them out their comfort zone. So it starts to make sense to why not bring in Mike Vrabel, because originally I thought, McCarthy was a guy. But when you've been with a coach that long, and you haven't had that much success in the postseason, this coming next year, if things don't go well, you can start drowning them out. So you might want to get ahead of all that right now, get guys out their comfort zone to where now that's how you become better. That's how you become great, getting out your comfort zone.
Everybody will throw out, well, Mike McCarthy has won a Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel has won Super Bowls. He knows what it's like to be a champion player. Mike McCarthy has coached. I think Dallas need more of a player's voice talking to their players right now. Somebody has walked that walk.
It makes more
sense. And not just somebody talking that talk. Somebody that says, I know what it takes and what kind of team you have to be from the locker room, not what kind of team you have to be from the front office or from the head coaching position. That's why I like Vrabel's voice in that locker room.
Key, what do you think?
I'm just listening to Michael. That's all I think. I think if it opens up and it's available, then Vrabel is a pretty good choice. He wants it 100% of the time. What you're getting out of Vrabel is kind of like you're going to get a mini, and I know, don't hit me, Joy, Bill Belichick is what you're getting ready to get. You're going to get a mini Bill Belichick. Discipline, somebody who's going to rely on things defensively. He's going to run it through the defense. But one of the things that they got to go find is a Derrick Henry. I understand that Rico, I get it, Rico was balling.
I got some for that later.
Okay, you got some for that later. I'm just telling you what it is that they need to get. Because what he wants to do, he wants to run the football, he wants to control the clock, and he wants to, he gonna trap Gentry, don't worry. And they want to play defense. And the discipline side of things, from a former NFL captain, a guy who's won Super Bowls like Michael says, is attention to detail. So all the little things, clock management, attention to detail, all of those things will be right in front of the Dallas Cowboys. But will Jerry Jones give him the necessary tools of players that he gave Mike McCarthy 3 years in a row until this year when he decided to wipe the cupboard bare and give him nothing, basically, and rolled him out there like a lame duck coach? Will he change in 2025?
Well, as we know, there's no one to hold Jerry accountable because
especially Mike
he's... Well, no, there literally is no one to hold him accountable. He's the coach and he's the GM, and he makes the decisions, and wherever the chips fall is where they fall. And whether he does a good job or a bad job, he's going to walk in the door the next day because that's the arrangement and how it's set up with Dallas. I could hear a different voice mattering if that is the consensus that we've run out of the excitement for your speeches. You're starting to sound redundant. we're doing all the things you're asking us, but we're not getting the results. Sometimes, even if you are a good coach, maybe you've run into that hurdle.
It happened. It happened with us in Tampa Bay, right? Coach Dungy, Hall of Fame coach. But I think the message had gotten
Still.
not necessarily stale, just kind of got
Coach Johnson was trying to
old
win
a little
with
bit.
defense. He was trying
And
to
so,
win with defense.
no, I understand.
And-
we
and
won
still
with
had
defense.
a great defense.
We had one of the
but
best,
you needed
if
some
not the
attention
best.
to offense.
But we got a little bit.
And they needed attention
little
to
bit.
offense.
Just a little bit.
And he brought it in.
And he
Chuck
brought a little
brought
bit.
it in.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Let's
right,
not act
right.
like we was the greatest show on turf now, Mike.
No, you were not. You
No, we were
But-
not.
but-
I'm not
but-
even going to sit up here and lie.
But what you were was complimentary to that great defense
In
that you
the
had.
playoffs, because it'll shock you.
Right.
The same year, if you took Dungy's last year and you took Grudel's first year and you compared the numbers in the regular season, which one do you think was better? Dungy's.
Dungy's was
Yes,
better.
until the playoffs. Playoffs is when we hit. Those teams that we met, we hit right on time against Philadelphia, against San Francisco, against the Raiders, where our offense started to really click and catch bait.
Yeah, I mean, I think McCarthy is just based.
When you started clicking in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's when
in the playoffs.
That's when it matters.
Playoffs.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's when it matters. That's when it matters, and that's when it matters for the Cowboys at this point because they've had regular season success.
Right, exactly.
They've checked all the boxes for the regular season. Right. Even Dak has, and now it's time to level up in the postseason.
Yeah. Right.
And as we know, everyone has that 30-year albatross on their neck when you're associated with the Cowboys, whether it's fair or reasonable or not. That is something that comes to the table when you're talking about having to get over the hump. I think Mike McCarthy is a better coach than Vrabel based on the results that he's had. And if you win a Super Bowl,
he did it a little bit longer with less of a quarterback.
He had two.
Yeah.
Not one, two Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
That's what I just said. I said less of a quarterback. We said the same thing.
Some of us have, more grace than others. Some of us are closer to the blessings. I understand that. But he did get it done with that Hall of Fame quarterback.
But let me just throw this out one last thing.
Get him in that spot.
Right, he did. But we always talk about that. Now, do you know the last two coaches hired by the Dallas Cowboys had no Super Bowl experience, and they won Super Bowls, which was Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer. So Mike Vrabel has not coached in the Super Bowl, though he's played in the Super Bowl. So let's not act like all these coaches that are coached in the Super Bowl can go to the next team and always get them a Super Bowl. That we know.
But McCarthy has...
Johnson ever win the national championship?
Of course we did.
And then what about Barry Switzer?
Of course he did. Yes,
oh, okay.
Yes. But Vrabel's never been a coach at that level.
I'm just saying they had some championship pedigree.
And that's what Vrabel had.
And Vrabel had some as a player.
And he did a nice job. Things fell apart
I don't know why,
with the Titans. He's 7-10 and 6-11 in his last 2 years there. That's why he's no longer there.
Tannehill.
He hasn't won a playoff game since 2019.
That's where they went wrong.
Tannehill.
And out of hand, and when they took Tannehill and then paid Derrick Henry.
But you remember, prior to them paying Tannehill, they was trying to court Aaron Rodgers as well as Tom Brady. So they was trying to fix the quarterback situation, but they just wind up saying, we got to stay with this guy.
Dak is already there.
Oh, so now Dak is there.
Dak is already there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just, because I can go back and
Dak works.
I can go back and, okay.
With a Vrabel, Dak works. We're going to tighten down on that defense. And then we're going to tie down on that offensive line. And, boy, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to be right on up in there hot about them Cowboys. I'm telling you, when I talk to the draft pick and all that stuff, when we talk Tyreek Hill, I got the whole plan.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.